I love how official she sounds now. It didn't used to say recording like that. Okay, loves. I got my notes up. Let's just like breathe for a second. I was going to have us breathe in a couple minutes after I talked about some things, but the word erratic that you used, Lauren, that's kind of how I felt all week. So I'm just like, let's all breathe and ground in. So just close your eyes for a minute, taking a deep breath in and out. And you can even sigh breath out if you desire. You can hand on your belly if you feel called to. Breathing in again. And release. Okay, and we're going to do a weird thing here in a minute, although it probably won't be weird to y'all, because you know me, and I think y'all are equally as weird, and I mean that in the best way. But on the breath out, we're going to either make a scream or an orgasm noise or whatever kind of noise wants to come out, like just for the purpose of releasing. So breathing in. And letting it out. I am going to scream. Actually, no, I'm not, because that's going to be really loud for you guys. Like, no one's in my house right now. I can scream. Okay. So just taking a moment to come into the present moment, into your body, and just thinking about what you're grateful for right now in this moment. And really feeling those feelings in your body of gratitude. Maybe it's for some things the full moon brought up for you. Maybe it is for the upcoming Halloween holiday, which is always fun. Maybe it is for this group and this call and being able to hang out together. Whatever it is, just really feel it in your heart, feel it in your body, and just bathe in it. Do you know what I mean by that? Like bathe in it, just feel it. Just take a couple deep breaths in and out again. Just checking on your body before we do the last breath out and seeing how your body feels. And if there's any areas in your body that you feel tension or anything off, just take a moment to send love to that area of your body. Taking one deep breath in again. And released. Okay. Whenever you're ready, you can open your eyes. Ooh, we have someone in the waiting room. Yay. All right. Hey, Jen, welcome in, welcome in. Okay, everybody is muted so far, which is wonderful, because I was going to ask you guys to mute yourself just for the time being. It's not going to be just me talking the whole time, like I want to interact with you guys, but I'm ADD and get distracted easily. Okay, looks like Jen is connecting. I'm like sweaty. Is anyone else sweaty? Maybe it's because my air conditioner won't come on. It's the full moon energy. I'm excited. Okay, loves. I'm so happy that you're here. I'm just going to go through like a few quick housekeeping things for you really quick so that everyone's on the same page. So does everybody have what I posted in the group for the prep list? All the items on the prep list. Okay. If you don't have something to burn your paper in, we're going to do a little ritual. Then you can always do it after the call outside, which is what I'm going to do, because I have like this little fire pit thing in the backyard. So that's what I'm going to do. What else was I going to say? Okay, so this call will last for like approximately an hour, give or take a little less, a little more. We'll just see what happens. Hello. I'm going to do a little teaching portion. So for those of you that follow me on Instagram, you'll probably know that I was like posting a poll. Yeah. Hey, Jen, do you mind? Morgan, okay. Lauren, muting yourself real quick.
Oh, yes. So
it's okay, boo, don't worry. I'm on Zoom on my phone right now, and I'm not used to being on Zoom on my phone. So thank you. I'm like, there she is. Hey, boo. What's up, Morgan? Hi. Love it. Okay, so I did a poll on Instagram and Facebook to see what category people want to learn most about when it comes to tapping into your feminine energy the most. And there's 4 different options. So what everyone seemed to want the most was to learn how to let go of all the fucking rules, which is like my favorite thing to talk about. So I'm going to briefly share about that today and about tapping more into your feminine energy. We are going to do some rituals, and then at the end I will have a Q&A, and we'll see how much time we have for that based on how long it takes us to do everything else. And I'm still sweating. I do have a new course coming out. I think you all have heard me post about it. I shared about that in the group, but the course is called Divine Feminine Rebirth. So I will be talking about that at the very end of that, so you can ask me any questions that you want. And essentially that course is going to be like a deep dive in all of the things we're going to briefly talk about here today. And speaking of that, I am doing a giveaway as well. So I'll tell you how to win in just a second, but I'm giving away 3 partial scholarships to my Divine Feminine Rebirth course, and 3, what's the word I'm looking for? I made an astrology workshop at the yoga studio, and essentially I taught about, words are hard today. I was teaching about how to use astrology to understand yourself more and understand like the energies of the world. And what I mean by that is like, when there's a full moon, why do I feel fucking crazy? What is this teaching me? Those things. So I'll be giving away 3 of those mini courses about astrology. So that is like, how do I count? 6 opportunities to win something from me. And all you have to do to win is just share a takeaway that you had from the Goddess Circle on your Instagram stories, your Facebook stories, or your post or your feed, whatever the word is I'm looking for. Words are hard today, apparently. And just share something that you learned and then tag me in it. And you can do it one time, you can do it every single day, you can do it multiple times a day. And every time you share something, it'll give you, like, your name will go on a piece of paper into a pot. So you'll basically, the more you share, the more opportunities you will get to win. Am I making sense right now? Because I feel so scatterbrained trying to explain this. Okay. And you will have the opportunity. It's going to be from today, Sunday, to next Sunday. So you have Sunday to Sunday to share what your takeaways are and to enter the giveaway. And then I will announce the winners on Monday, November 6th. So a week from tomorrow. I'm like, what's today? I don't know what today is. So that is the giveaway. That's what we're doing. And let me just see what happened in the chat box. No worries, Morgan. Make your dinner, girl. Food is important. Okay. So we did a little breathing at the beginning to get into our bodies, to get into the present moment. Before I go into the teaching portion, I would love to hear what your intentions are of why you're here. And I really want to share my story too, briefly, if you don't. I know Emma knows a lot about my story, but Morgan and Lauren, and maybe some of the people listening to the recording, are newer people in my world. So I do want to share like why the fuck I even created this and why I'm so passionate about it. But first I want to hear from you guys. So you can either unmute yourself if you want to share your intentions and let us hear you and see your beautiful face. Well, I can see all of your faces, but you know what I mean. Or you can type it in the chat box. So anybody want to share first? No one ever really wants to share first. I totally understand that. I always try to be the weirdo when I'm on the Zoom call that's like, I'm just going to share first, even though I'm afraid. I'm lighting incense, by the way.
Hello there. Can you hear me?
We can.
Yeah, okay. My intention is just to get a bit more into my feminine. For those of you you don't know me, I sell crystals and I do Reiki, but I haven't really pushed getting it off the ground, so to speak, especially with the Reiki. I want to really step into that space more next year. Crystals I've been doing for a few years and that's sort of pottering along just fine. But the Reiki I really want to do a lot with. And previously when doing Jess's course, I found often, as well as what she's actually teaching, I would get other benefits as well, like other downloads would come through. So if she said she was doing this, I had to be in.
I love it. I would cry when I talk to you. That makes me so happy, Boo. Thank you for sharing so much.
No
and I'm
problem.
so glad. Awesome, love. Okay, who else? The incense. Oh, I'm super ADD, in case you guys don't already know that about me. So if I'm like over here doing weird things, like, it's gonna be fine. Don't worry. You're in safe hands. I'm just weird. It looks like Morgan.
Hey, I'm Lauren. Yeah, I just recently met Jess at the yoga studio, and she seems like a really amazing person, and her energy is just kind of whoosh, comes and wraps you in. And so I just wanted to kind of see what was going on here.
I love it. Thank you. I love you so much. So glad you're here. I love all of you so much. I'm just like exploding with love right now. Okay.
I typed everything in. Sorry, now I'm taking over for a second, Jessica.
Do it, boo.
My
Sorry.
goal is kind of the same with you guys. Like, I'm trying to get to a good place in my feminine self. And I've got my new business going with massage. I also do Reiki, so yay for you. Love it. I just had my first Reiki client last week or the week before, but it was a really awesome session. And I just want to get back to, knowing who I am. I'm a mom. I have a 4-year-old. So it's still kind of, even though it's 4 years, it's still, I think we all get into a place of like, we lose who we were before we were a mom. And I want to just find me again and help, incorporate all of that good energy and everything into my business and help other people learn, create that sacred space within themselves as well. That's my little slogan thing of like helping you create, your what is it? Oh goodness. But creating just your space in you. Like, you don't need anything else outside of you. You've got you and you're good in that. And so I want to just get back into me a little bit more so I can help other people become that as well. So yay, I'm just here to get to that point, I guess.
Girl. I love it. Thank you so much for sharing. And now that I know you do Reiki, I should come get Reiki from you sometime since you're local too. Emma, you're the only person that's on here that doesn't live here. You need to be in the same city too. We all need to be in the same city. I'm manifesting that. I'll just do a world tour. That's what I've been wanting to do for years. Loved. Okay. Thank you so much for sharing. That made me even more excited than I already was to be here. Cause I mean, you guys and everyone else, like, who is drawn to what I offer. Like, you guys are why I do what I do. So thank you for sharing. Thank you for being open, and thank you for being here. So where to start? I get really long-winded. So I made a note to myself, like how many minutes to spend on each section, just to, if we go over, it's fine. But sometimes I go like 2 hours over. I've been known to do that before in recent goddess circles, or like an hour and a half. Yeah, I'm like, no, yeah. And I respect y'all's time, and I have to be better at my own time as well. So anyway, I'm Jess. Hi. You guys already know that. But essentially, being in my feminine energy, it's actually still a struggle for me to this day. However, I am so much more in my feminine energy than I ever have been. And for so many years, okay, I'm like, Emma knows my story, but these two don't know all of my story. So I'm trying to, okay. I'm like just trying to figure stuff out that's coming up into my head. Okay. So I have had my own business for almost 12 years, and I didn't work anywhere else until this year when I started working at the yoga studio. So I basically was doing just my business for 10 years. I used to do health coaching online, for those of you that didn't know that. And then I started my spiritual coaching business in 2019. So I was doing like well for myself financially. I made 6 figures. I paid off all my debt. I got to live in Hawaii and Bali, and I lived in Australia actually for a short time. Unfortunately, I didn't meet Emma in person back then, but basically, like, none of this is to brag, by the way. This is just my story. Like, these are the things that I was able to do. And I did do that by following my passion. However, my passion kind of changed over time, and I wasn't enjoying what I was doing anymore. And the short of the long story is that all of the money I was making, all of the business, like, came crumbling down. And then I launched in my first business. Then I launched my spiritual business. I was doing well. And then 2020 happened with COVID. And that was the year that I got clarity that I wanted to start doing in-person stuff like retreats and goddess circles and all these things. But then COVID happened, and I was actually planning a retreat with my healer Claire in Hawaii. And then we got news that it was COVID, so we couldn't do it. So pretty much the last 3 years, I was kind of honestly fucking lost in what to do in my business. And I kind of just, I don't know, like, I had people reach out to me that wanted readings. I tried to offer a couple of online programs, but basically I just like burned everything down and just stopped doing everything that I used to be doing, because this is the important note that I didn't include. When I was making all the money before, I was in like hustle mode. I don't really like that word, but I was in my wounded masculine energy. There's nothing wrong with being in your masculine energy. Like, we have to balance our masculine and our feminine. Like, masculine is the taking action. Feminine is like the being, the doing, the receiving. We have to do both. Like, we can't just lay on the fucking floor all day long and never do anything and expect for stuff to happen. But we also can't just like drive ourselves to the level of burnout, which happened to me so many times. So like what I was doing wasn't sustainable. So that's why things crumbled down. And that's also where I just decided to burn the rest down that was still existing in my business. Does that all make sense, what I've said so far? Because I haven't really shared this story like live with people until right now in this moment, other than with friends. So that's essentially been my life the last few years. I left Hawaii in 2020 to come back here to my hometown to be with my family, not because of money actually, but I just wanted to be by my family. And then the last 3 years since I've been here have been like really fucking tough. Last year was like the hardest year of my life. I'll tell more of that story one day. But essentially, since last year, by working with my healer and just like taking courses myself, I've been able to learn so many tools to be able to rebuild all of the shit that fell away, all of the shit that burnt down, and rebuild stuff in a sustainable way, not just in my business, but in other areas of life. And I feel like this year has been like the best year of my life that I've had in like 10 fucking years, after having the hardest year of my life. So the tools that I've used to create that is basically why we're here today and what my new course is going to be about. And I was thinking about this, I don't know if I posted this or not, but it's like right now I might not make the money that I used to make, but I have abundance in so many other forms and so many other ways that I never had before, even when I was like making all the money and had all of these things. So essentially, the summary of that story is like, I had it all. I say it in quotations because it's like, really, why is that everything? Like, I think we should all define success however we want to. It doesn't matter how much money you make or all of those things, but not that it's bad to make money. Believe me, like I still have goals and stuff, but I'm going off on 50 million tangents. But essentially, this is the story of me having it all and losing it all to rebuilding. And this is me sharing it with you guys because, like I said, what I was doing before for so many years was not sustainable. And what I've been finding this year, like in my business this year, I got to host my first retreat in April, which was amazing. And I've hosted 2 goddess circles in person now, and the astrology workshop, like I told you guys earlier, I did that in person. And offering this, like I'm just having people that are interested come to me like easily. I don't mean easily as in I'm not doing any fucking effort, because I've been sharing about it all the time on Instagram. But that's not because I feel like I have to. It's because I'm fucking excited about it. So now I'm like following my heart. I'm following my intuition, and stuff is like coming to me with more ease, which is essentially is being more in your feminine energy. Like, you guys, I remember back when I got my first business to 6 figures, I was like for 30 days straight almost, I was in a network marketing company, and there was like this rank advancement thing. And I was like trying to get the rank advancement by the certain date. I think it was like around this time in 2014. That's a long ass time ago. Anyway, I like worked like 20-hour days for like 3 weeks straight. Not every day, but like I was like not sleeping. I was on calls all the time trying to like sell to people and sign people up. And like I was passionate about that business, but like the way at that time, the way I went about it was obviously not sustainable. So it's just like a shift in your energy, essentially. I feel like I lost where I was going with that. Did all of that make sense so far? And thank you for bearing with me as I explain this, because like I said, this is my first time like sharing this story to a group of people. Okay. And this is actually perfect that I just shared about a lot of the things that I did, because the vote that everyone wanted to learn about today was letting go of all the fucking rules. And I have had to do this in so many fucking ways. And oh my God, I think this might even be like an entire book talking about this topic, but it's like, okay. Sorry, I'm channeling and stuff, and then I'm looking at my notes. Okay. So much of what we are taught in any area of life, whether it's your food, your fitness, your business, your money. We're taught that you have to follow all these rules to get there. Like you have to eat 1,200 calories a day and work out all the time to lose weight. That's just one thing I did back in the day when I was fucking crazy and like had borderline eating disorders, like in my early 20s. Or with business, you have to post on social media every fucking day, and you have to post at least 10 times before someone like sees your thing and wants to join. And I'm not trying to knock any of that stuff by any means. This is not me trying to knock anybody, but these are just my experiences of what I have dealt with and what I don't believe is sustainable and what doesn't work for me. And everybody is different. So anything I teach you today or in any day or class you ever teach with me, I just invite you to like trust your intuition. And if what I'm telling you doesn't resonate, like take what does and leave the rest. But what I'm just saying is that it's so much more important to listen to your intuition than what someone else is telling you. Like this is the exact way of what you have, of how you have to accomplish words, geez, this certain goal. You guys get what I'm saying so far? Okay. And when it comes to being in your feminine energy more, a lot of it really is about letting go of all of the fucking rules. Because when you're in your oh my gosh, I can't talk. When you are in your feminine energy, this is when you're like tapped into here. Like you're tapped into your heart, you're tapped into your intuition, and you're just like going with what feels good to you. Now, that doesn't mean that you can't have schedules or to-do lists or anything like that. But it's just trusting and not thinking, oh, I'll give you guys a perfect example. I have had to overcome a lot of these ideas of what I think that I should do or have to do in my business while launching this goddess circle. Like yesterday, I really wanted to be offline so that I could rest and prepare for today. But in my head, I have this whole story. Oh my gosh, no, if you want to get more people, like you need to get online, you need to post as much as possible. And I was like, no, Satan, not today. Like I knew I needed to rest. Like I have been so exhausted the last couple of weeks because with these eclipses and stuff, I've been sleeping fucking crazy. Raise your hand if you have too. Like it's been a lot. I don't know if it's affected you guys or not, but yeah. So anyways, it's like, it's these shoulds. The shoulds essentially is like the main thing I want to talk about today when it comes to letting go of all the fucking rules. You should do this. You should do this workout. You should go post about your business, whatever. My biggest advice, like I said a minute ago, is listen to your heart. What does your heart want? What does your body want? What does your body need? Like that's another really big thing. Like I used to be, Emma looks like she wants to say something. Are you cracking up laughing at me or something else? You're making some facial expressions. I just had to ask. Sometimes we think that we should do a workout or that we should do whatever, but it's really important to listen to your body because your body is always going to know what is best for you. Sometimes we also really need to listen to what our fucking inner child wants. Like sometimes our inner child is like, bitch, I don't want to do work on that. I don't want to work on my business today. I don't want to do this. I just need to go have fun. Like I literally carry a wand of bubbles in my Jeep and I will blow bubbles at people at the stoplight. Sometimes I just blow them at myself because it's just fun. Let's see what Emma said. My chihuahua was being crazy, so I was making faces with it. No worries, boo. I was just like, what's going on over here? So yeah, that's my first bullet point, so to speak, if you're taking notes or mental notes or whatever, is don't listen to what you think you should do. Follow your heart, follow what your body needs, your inner child and your intuition. And I'll talk more about like my processes of how to do that and tap into that in the course. But one really great way to tap into your feminine energy and be able to listen to your body and your heart is to just slow down and just be like, sit still and just really listen, like really tune in and really listen. And dance is also like one of my favorite ways to tap more into my feminine. And that I'll talk more about in the course too, but I just wanted to give you guys like a few little bullet points of what you can write down in your mental notes or in actual notes. Okay, the next thing, I'll say this in numbers. Point number 3. We had the Taurus full moon and it was also an eclipse, and that was yesterday. And the Taurus full moon was actually all about doing what makes you happy and not worrying about anyone else and having boundaries and tapping more into your feminine energy, slowing down, doing self-care and pleasure. And when I say pleasure, I don't mean like having sex or having an orgasm, although that can definitely apply, but it's just like what feels good to you. Like, for example, yesterday I had to do groceries and cook and stuff, but in between, I'm going to tell you guys this here because we're all ladies. First of all, has anyone ever masturbated or had sex outside before? Raise your hand if you have. Y'all are like, what the fuck? Okay, well, I never have, but yesterday, no one else was at my house and I masturbated in my backyard for the first time and it felt very freeing. So I did that. And I also like painted in my backyard. I did some other stuff too that I can't remember right now. But this energy that's coming through with the full moon is really helping us to tap more into our feminine energy and just like figuring out what makes you feel happy. So that's another takeaway that I would say is you can journal about what actually makes you happy, what actually brings you joy, what actually brings you pleasure, and try to implement that, whether it's once a week or once a month. Just figure out a way that you can actually like, you don't have to schedule it into your schedule, but if you want to, like, that is a way to, make sure that you do it. Let's see what y'all are saying in the chat. I've had sex on the beach, not as much fun as you would think. Yeah, I'm sure sand goes in a lot of weird places. Yeah. I had a blanket out. Oh my God, that was the same blanket that my neighbor's cat was laying on this morning, but that's okay. I was laying on the blanket. I mean, he's just a cat. He doesn't know what he's doing. Anyways, okay. Lauren says I plead the fifth. I love it. Okay, before I go a little bit deeper into my next bullet point, does anyone want to share anything or ask any questions? Because I realize I'm already like talking way many more minutes than I expected to, and I want to make sure we get everything in. Is everybody tracking with what I'm saying? I also want to make sure, because this is brand new for me teaching. Like, I've been teaching stuff for like almost 12 years now, but I want to make sure that since this is new, I want to make sure it's coming across to where you can understand. Okay, well, I'm going to keep going. And then if anybody wants to ask anything, I will have time for questions at the end, but just type in the chat box. Okay. So I feel like the first step to take when letting go of all the fucking rules is to look at what self-imposed rules you have. And what I mean by that is similar to like it is essentially what I was saying with like the shoulds, like, and thinking about, because here's the thing, a lot of these things that we think we should do, it's because of what someone else said. And not that that makes it wrong. Like, don't get me wrong. I have healers, I have mentors, I've taken many online courses, and I will continue to do that. But sometimes we just have to let go of what someone teaches us or says we should do and just figure it out our own way. And I'll just give you guys some examples for myself. Since I was like an online fitness coach for like 7 years, and I did like P90X and Insanity, if you know what those workouts are, like crazy workouts all the time, because I was with the company Beachbody. That was a network marketing company. I did all those crazy workouts for so many years. And when did I quit that? In 2019. Since 2019, I've been trying to find my balance of like, I'm not saying intense fitness is bad, but there's different kinds of workouts for all different kinds of bodies. And my body actually does not respond well to intense fitness, if that makes sense. Like, that's a whole other topic for a whole other day. But I've just learned that my body likes various different things. And anyway, I'm going off on too many tangents. But I had this story in my head that like, oh, you should be like exercising at least 6 days a week, or you should be doing this many minutes of exercise, or this kind of exercise. Oh, you're not doing enough cardio. Like, I remember when I first joined the yoga studio last year, I was like, oh my God, you're not doing enough cardio. And I'm not saying cardio is bad. Cardio is good. Like, it's good to get your heart rate up, but our bodies need different things during different seasons of life as well. Like, you don't want to push yourself too much. So that is like one thing that I really had to let go of. And these self-imposed rules that we have can sometimes take years of undoing, because I've been working on undoing this belief for so long, but it will still come up for me from time to time. And I'm like, oh yeah, that's like that old story again that I'm telling myself, I need to push and do this. Do you guys get what I'm saying with this example? Okay. Another example, I'm probably going to just use fitness and business because those are the two most applicable areas to me. Like with business, I've kind of already said this earlier, but it's like, you know, oh, I should post on social media more. I should send out more messages to my email list. I should whatever. Like pretty much everybody here has their own business. So you guys will understand what I'm saying. Like, and all of the stuff that is taught in the business industry, none of it's bad. Like I said, none of it is bad. But I've just learned personally that, like I talked about when I started relaunching things this year, things can come to you with so much more ease and you don't have to be taking action all the time. And actually, the time that you're not taking the action is even more important because that's when you're taking care of your own energy and you're filling your own cup up and you're in receiving mode. Because when you're just doing all the time, trying to control something and manifest it and make it come to you now, because believe me, like I used to teach manifestation. I used to teach money manifestation. I used to teach people about business. Like Emma knows all this because she took courses with me. I used to like force stuff to try to come in and, oh, if I just do more, if I do more, I do more, it'll come in faster and it'll just come now. And do you guys get what I'm saying? Like, does anyone else kind of get manic with manifesting? Raise your hand if you know what I'm talking about. Because we can get impatient. At least I can. I'm a fucking Leo, so I can be crazy as fuck. And sometimes it's like all the shit that I've had to go through the last 3 years, I needed to go through it. I needed to heal a lot of trauma. I needed to experience what I did, but it wasn't fucking fun. I was not enjoying the fact that certain manifestations were taking so much longer, or that I was like in a void period and nothing was happening. But even when you're in those void periods, like so much is actually happening behind the scenes. So I just want you to know that. But those are just some examples that I wanted to give you. What did I write here in the notes? Oh, here's another story I'll share real quick before we move on. Last week, was it last week? I don't know. This week or last week, I set boundaries with somebody and they did not respond very well. And I have this other story, self-imposed rule that like I should be the nice girl. Anyone else relate to that? Like going into people-pleasing mode. So I was like avoiding setting boundaries with this person for a while. And I kept getting signs that I needed to and pulling cards that I needed to. And when I did, it wasn't comfortable. And I thought I was pretty fucking nice about it, but she like freaked out on me basically. And sometimes we can like feel like we shouldn't set a boundary or we should whatever because we have to be nice. So that's something I've been working on letting go of, is that like you should be the nice girl, or even like you shouldn't be too much. Like I feel like a lot of people have told me for most of my life that I'm too much because I talk a lot, or because I have tattoos, or because I'm tall, or because I have dark hair, because I whatever. Like just be you, boo. Like let go of all the other stuff that people have told you about you, is the point that I'm trying to make. Let go of all the stories, let go of all the stuff that you think you need to do. And one last thing, as one last example, is perfection. Like these are just personal examples again. Like, can anyone relate to perfection? Like that's something that I've struggled with. Yeah. Off and on for a long time. And all these things, like healing happens in layers. So I've noticed, like I had a few life lessons come up with this eclipse this week. And I noticed, I'm like, I got that lesson like way quicker than before. Like I got it like in a few hours instead of like a few months or a few weeks. So there's always going to be more layers, but perfectionism can be a bitch. And I totally was going into perfectionism with launching this new program and the Goddess Circle, and just like going into overwhelm and putting all this pressure on myself because all the stuff I thought I should do. And then I was like, whatever, like just fuck it all. Like sometimes you literally just have to say like, fuck it all and just go do something fun, go blow bubbles or blow something else or whatever. I hope you guys got that joke. Okay. If you didn't, it's fine. All right. Let's see. Okay. That was all I was going to talk about as far as feminine energy and letting go of all the fighting rules. I'm just doing a time check. Okay. We're still doing pretty good. Before we move on to the ritual portion, does anyone want to talk more about what we shared about? Because we could actually just do the Q&A now or ask questions. That's what I was trying to say. Do you want to share or ask questions? I'm going to take a sip of water and breathe for a minute because I feel like I was going a million miles an hour. Lauren's like, please do, child. Please do, girl. Lauren's like, please come over to my house. We need to do yoga right now, girl.
No, I know where you are with doing something new and presenting in kind of a different format and everything. It's like I can completely empathize. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
contagious. And I'm just over here moving because I'm feeling crunchy, but I was literally just reflecting about this kind of thing, about boundaries this morning, after some things that were brought up at a recovery meeting that I was at, and how it wasn't said in this specific way, but it was, there's reference to like there's ways in which character defects show up that are like glaringly obvious, like the prideful arrogance, those kinds of things, downright mean anger, and then there's character defects that on one level are positive, right? Like perfectionism, right? Or giving to others. But when they go into that addictive mindset, it becomes a problem, right? You take care of too many people, you become sort of codependent. You burn yourself out. You hustle too hard, you burn yourself out. And something I've been working on for a couple of years in different areas of my life is boundaries, and making sure that I feel pretty good about most of them, with other people, with institutions, with my time, but then sort of on the flip side of that is exactly what you're talking about, is these, which shoulds are mine, which come from my socialization and my culture, and which are healthy and which are not.
Yeah,
Sure.
sure.
And how that changes from time to time. So yeah, I appreciate what you're doing.
I love that. Thank you for sharing that. I'm trying to do the heart. Does that look like a heart? Not really. I feel like I'm just hanging out with my fellow weirdos. I love it. I hope no one takes offense to the term weirdos. I mean it in the most positive way. Okay, loves. I don't know what that weird accent was. Anybody else want to ask any questions? Share anything? I feel like my lipstick's coming off. Emma looks like she might be unmuting herself.
Trying to. Yeah, I just wanted to say same. I was definitely codependent previously, in my marriage, which I got divorced about 5 years ago. So I've been single since then. Started dating on and off different people for the last year. I haven't found anyone that sort of sticks so far, no one that I want to stick. But the most previous person that I was seeing, this is how I know I've come so far, because previously I was all about, like, I want them to think I'm nice, like I want to do the nice girl thing, the people pleasing. Anyway, this girl asked me to go away for a weekend, and we hadn't been seeing each other all that long. And I wasn't comfortable with that. We weren't at that stage yet. It was really, really new. And I was just like, no, I sent back, I'd be happy to spend a full day with her. Previously, we'd only spent sort of 1 or 2 hours together at any one time. I'm like, I'm not there. I'm not ready to go away for a weekend with you. And the response I got was, well, I'm not going to argue or bicker with you about it. I'm like, that wasn't an argument. That was me putting in place a boundary. And yeah, very quickly after that, that one sort of ended. But it was just like, oh yeah, it's people get really funny with boundaries if they're not someone who maybe has any or knows how to put their own in place and stuff like that. So, but it felt good to me still, because I was like, you know what, I did that, and I did that gracefully, and it wasn't accepted by the other party, and that's okay. That's fine. It wasn't meant to be. So I'm all good with that.
Girl, I love that.
Yeah.
I love what you about, like how when people react that way, it's because they don't have good boundaries themselves. Like that's so important. And I don't know if that was Claire, my healer, that taught me that or something in the last couple of years, but it's like I've had that realization, but sometimes I still forget it, like when people respond the way that they do. you know, but it's so helpful to know that, like, yeah. 'Cause a lot of people don't have boundaries. Like people, yeah, that's a whole other tangent. Thank you for sharing, Emma Boo. Was I gonna say something about that? Okay. I feel like the course that I'm about to birth, there's probably going to be like a 2.0, and then there's also a book I'm working on, and then there's another program that's about confidence and speaking your truth. These are all things I've been working on this year as I've been in my little incubation mode, preparing to do all this stuff. But yeah, like I'll just say this real quick, like speaking our truth is such an important thing, but it can also be such a difficult thing to do because we can be afraid of how people are going to respond. And yeah, but just like Emma said, it's like we just have to fucking do us and understand like that person isn't for us, essentially. I'm trying to be mindful of time. Okay. Morgan and friend. I don't know your friend's name, Morgan. I'm sorry, friend. What's your friend's name?
This is Jennifer. This is who accounts
my Zoom account. Hello, nice to meet you.
Hey, Boo, you too. Oh, that makes sense, Doug, because it says your name on the screen. Okay, yeah.
I am the Jen Friedman, yes.
Yes.
Man, love it. Do you ladies want to, there's incense floating in my face. Do you ladies want to ask anything or share anything before we move on to the rituals?
Not so much, except like the boundaries. Yes, cool. I'm working on all that right now in my life. Jennifer's just recently, I'm gonna put her business out there a little bit, but she's recently, I've said a few years,
Yeah.
been kind of going through all this as well. So she understands and everything too. So this is just cool. We're excited to listen in and learn, and you know, yeah, there we go.
Yes. Yeah, I went through a marriage and a divorce and a self-exploration period, and lots of trying new things and lots of not random dating, but like, just trying to
Say what you call it, you
yeah.
I'll get it.
Trying to experiment with relationships, because that was also the more you get out there and try, the more you get out there and live, the more you learn to trust your gut and the more you learn to trust your instincts. And I think that's super important in establishing your strength and enforcing your boundaries.
Right. Experiences,
Yeah.
you know, like, I mean, that we learn from experiences, or you drown in them too. But if you don't drown in them, you learn from it and you take away what you need out of that. So, yeah, cool for that. Sarah, what's up?
I love that. Yes, saying hi to Sarah. Sarah, Boo. I think Boo, you can join. I'm sorry. I had closed the Facebook group out because I was getting started after. Cannot talk kind of late. Sorry, Sarah. Straighten yourself out. Not that I don't love you and want to hear you. But I'm just gonna explain the part. I really should learn how to mute people from the phone. I feel like I knew. Oh wait, there it is. Mute. All these new experiences, guys. See, like I have all I have all these 12 almost years of experience doing business, and I'm doing some things in similar ways, but also lots of other new ways. So yeah, thank you guys for being my little guinea pigs. I don't like that word, but I don't know what else to use. So sorry, Sarah, about that. Sarah, really the only part that you missed was like the teaching part. So it's good that you are here for the part like live that we're about to do, because this is kind of like the fun where we've been interacting some, but what I'm trying to say is we're about to do the rituals. So the teaching part you can go back and listen to, because I will have the recording for you guys. And Sarah, if you want to share your intentions in the chat, if you feel guided to, we would love to hear why you're here, boo. I know you already shared on the Facebook group, but I'd love to hear more. My heart feels so happy right now. Okay. Who's ready to do some rituals? Or is everyone here familiar with rituals? This is something that, just like wave at me if you're not. Okay, y'all are. I feel like everybody is, but I just want to make sure. I know Sarah is, because Sarah was on my last goddess circle that it was like a hybrid. It was at the yoga studio, and there's a horn going off, in person and online. So anyway, Sarah was there. So rituals is something I've become super passionate about, because the easiest way to summarize it is like rituals can just powerfully shift your energy. And especially one of the rituals we are going to do, which is movement, and don't let that freak you out. Shifting shit out of your physical body, because that's where we hold emotions that are trapped in our bodies. And like our bodies store everything. So when we can release stuff from our body physically, that helps us have an energetic release. And when we do other rituals, we just have like an energetic release as well. They work kind of differently. But anyway, they're just super powerful. Let me see what Sarah said in the chat. My intention is to be able to let everything flow easier around me and that I feel more confident to follow my intuition and use my gifts. I love it, Sarah. Thanks for sharing. Okay. So yeah, I feel like I started getting into like witchy rituals probably like in 2018. But I was in this group. It was like called Moon Babes or something like that. And we used to meet on Zoom. This was in 2021. And we would do these really fun rituals and I would just have huge shifts. So that's why I got passionate about doing goddess circles, because it's like we come together, we hang out, we have our sisterhood time that fills our hearts and souls up. We get to share, we get to know we're not alone. And then we get to do rituals so that we can like let go of some shit that is holding us back and move forward. Okay. So the first ritual we're going to do is a fire release ritual. So this is where you need your journal and your burning bowl and your lighter, candle. Well, you don't have to have a candle, but yeah, if you don't already have your candle lit, light it. I forgot to say that at the beginning. This candle I got at TJ Maxx. It's actually from Australia, Emma, and it has rose quartz in it. Yes. Yeah, so everybody actually go ahead and light your candle right now. Let's light it in unison. I'm going to be really weird and blow mine out, and we're going to light it together in unison. So let's be weird and do that together if you guys want to. Okay. And before we started the goddess circle, I already called on the angels, archangels, God, Mother Mary, Jesus. So go ahead and light your candle, everybody. So I invited all of that support in to be with us energetically. So you can kind of just think about that as you light your candle. Think about your angels, maybe some of your ancestors, your spirit guides, whoever you feel guided to. Like, you guys don't have to believe in the same things that I mentioned. So just insert whatever you believe in. And we're just asking to be guided. God, angels, Jesus. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Okay. So what we're doing with this ritual is we are going to burn up some motherfucking shit and let it go. So we're going to write out everything we're ready to let go of. I know a lot of people do this ritual. I do this ritual all the time. So you guys have probably done it before, but it's so powerful. I love to do it all the time. And it's perfect for the full moon. It's perfect for what we're talking about today, because we're letting go of all the fucking rules. So what we're going to do is I'm going to play some music and you're going to write out everything you want to let go of, including your self-imposed rules that you have for yourself. So this might take you like a few minutes to think about it. That's why I'm going to play music so that we can be in the vibes. So just write out anything that comes to you. And it doesn't have to be just self-imposed rules. It can be anything you want to let go of, people pleasing, perfection, like all the, all the things we've talked about today, or anything we haven't talked about. So anybody have any questions before we do this? No? Okay. So I was telling Lauren this because she was on first, but the music, I cannot figure out how to play the music on my Zoom the way that I have on past goddess circles. So it might not sound as clearly on your end, but I'm going to give you guys the link to my Spotify playlist, because I have a 13-song playlist that I made for you guys. And I really want you to have it because it has some amazing songs on it. So I'll send you the playlist link. I'll post it in the Facebook group. But I got on Zoom earlier to test this out with a friend, and she said she could hear it. So I'm going to play it. And if it doesn't sound the most clear, I am working on figuring out how to make it sound more clear on my next event. But I think it should be clear enough. And I apologize that it's not perfect. Well, there's me going into perfectionism again. Okay, so I'm going to play it real quick. Let me guys know if you can hear it. Just give me a thumbs up, and then we'll start the ritual. Here it goes.
The divine feminine is mother of all creation. She lives within all of us.
Can you guys hear it at all?
The power of her fertile womb, light
can?
into all existence. Her presence, ordained from the cosmos. Her bloodline is ancient. That is so divine. Gotta keep going. This translation. The light on the dark. Be not with all of the dark. Casting my light on the shadows. God is the rise on the cosmos. I don't be driven or nothing. I'm gonna come back onto something. Because she boomerang, you cannot tell me none. That's not from the verse. How it can turn. Yes, I'm an angel and yes, I'm the one. Ancient spirit, command of the physical. I am the one. I am the soul. My records are told. Redo your right. Redo your life. Don't try to lie to me. Already know. You're not mine. You're not with try. So it's descending, but leave out the time. Things are so big. I reach the sky. Keep going. Keep going. Keep going. Keep going. I can't be tamed, I can't be controlled. Let me be me, let me flow. It's a natural expression of my soul. I can't be tamed, I can't be controlled. Let me be me, let me flow. It's a natural expression of my soul. For my ancestors, for my lineage. For my ancestors, for my lineage. I let go of shame. I embrace the ancient ways. Divine feminine rise. To lead me up the spine. It's our time to shine. We came here to thrive. Mother Mary, Mary Magdalene, Isis, Bonnie, feel the presence of the Lord Jesus underneath your skin. For my ancestors, for my lineage. For my ancestors, for my lineage. I let go of blame. I remember why I came. The Lord is, the Lord is rising. The Lord is rising. The Lord can't be tamed, I can't be controlled. Let me be, let me go. It's a natural expression of my soul. I can't be tamed, I can't be controlled. Let me be, let me go. It's a natural expression of my soul. For my ancestors, for my lineage. For my ancestors, for my lineage. I let go of pain. I went to the sacred way. I went to the sacred way. I went to the sacred way.
Time that you remember some powerful things about yourself. Once upon a time, you knew that you were infinite. You knew you were capable of anything. You knew that you were worthy of literally everything. And then something happened, something took place. You experienced an event in your life that had you believe you needed to.
I just want to say this real quick in case anyone else is doing the same thing I am. I'm like looking at everything I wrote down and I'm like, is there more? Should I have more on here? Number one, you don't have to. Number two, you could save this for later and like finish it, like as in add more to it later if you want to. I'm just being mindful of time. You can also, something that I like to do is I'll just write down, like, I'm also letting go of anything else that is holding me back from manifesting what I desire or like aligning with my higher self or like, yeah. I try to always think of hacks like that. I don't know how the fuck I thought of that, but one day I just started writing that. So I'll give you guys like a couple more minutes and yeah, then we'll keep going.
To do more in order to have more, so you could finally be more. What was that event? Who was that person? What was it that you experienced? What transpired that had you believe that you weren't enough already? What was the one moment that changed everything? When did you start to doubt yourself? Do you remember what it felt like in your body when the way that you viewed the world completely changed? You started to believe that on some level you weren't enough. Then you began to overcompensate. Maybe you became an overachiever, a martyr. Maybe no matter how much you did, it was still never enough. Well, I got news for you. Being busy and exhausted is not a badge of honor. Being run by your calendar will not prove to the world that you matter. And finally, if you don't have the time and the space to enjoy the fruits of your labor, then is it actually worth it? But I want you to know, what I want you to remember, what I want you to relearn is that you were enough back then. You're enough now. You will always be more than enough. It's not about what you do, it's about who you be. And the biggest gift that I could ever give to you is this. You have everything that you desire, everything that you want, everything that you imagine, everything that you hope for. When you finally give yourself permission. Permission to be worthy. Permission to trust. Permission to be the fullest expression of yourself. Remember that you're an extension of God. You're an extension of the universe. You're directly connected to all of it. A drop of ocean water is still the ocean. When you give yourself permission to be all that you authentically are, you become the vibrational frequency of that which you desire. We don't attract what we want. We attract what we are. Give yourself permission.
Hey, loves, is everybody good? Okay, so I'm not gonna burn mine right now. Like I said, I'm gonna do mine in my backyard afterwards. But does anybody want to burn theirs now? Because we can totally still do it on here together, and I'll just like do it with you. Okay, so if you're gonna burn yours right here, right now. I don't have my lighter. Get your lighter. I have matches. Make sure you're doing this in a safe space. Fire safety first. I always got to say that. Put it in a bowl. Morgan said I'm lighting this bitch up. I saw the flame going. And when it's burning, just like feel in your body all the heaviness of all these fucking self-imposed rules or rules other people put in your space. Feel it leaving your physical body. Feel it leaving your energy, your aura. Just, ooh, I'm getting chills over here. So I feel like some energy is shifting. And say, bye, motherfucker. I don't need you no more. Okay. I love it. I'm going to put the music back on just lightly. Oops. If everybody's burnt up already, I don't know how long it takes to burn because mine's not burning. I feel like it's still happening.
Let me support
Yes,
you.
loves. Okay, I'm gonna play this one part because this is
Close
powerful.
your eyes. Taking a deep breath. And repeat after me. I am enough. I am worthy. I am one of a kind. I have an abundance of all that I need. I am endlessly supported.
And as it burns up, loves, just feel this new energy coming into your life. Feel your desires coming in. Feel the new opportunities coming in. Feel the abundance coming in. Just, you made so much space right now by letting go of all that old bullshit. So now it's ready for stuff to come in. So we're going to do one more ritual before we go. And I will do another question segment. I will talk briefly about the 5-week program. So we'll do that in just a minute, but we are going to do a dance ritual. And I know that might make people want to like crawl in their skin. I'm sorry. Is everybody done with the fire release part? Not yet. Okay. Let's see. What did the chat box say? Emma said, I'm a boomer and don't have Spotify. No worries, boo. You should be able to find if any of the names of the songs stick out to you, you should be able to find them on YouTube. I didn't even get Spotify until like this year. Okay. What do you think about this, Emma? We could do the dance portion while your stuff is burning up still. Are you okay with that? Okay. I don't mind waiting for you by any means. I just wanted to suggest that idea. Okay, cool. So loves, we're going to do some dance. We're not going to do for that long, just for the sake of time and because of my musical issue. How is the music for y'all on your end, by the way? Could you like hear the words? Could you hear the actual music? Kind of. That's what I thought. So I just feel like we should just do one song together, because even if we can't exactly hear what it's saying, you guys can have the playlist and do this by yourselves later. But I feel like the power of dancing together, especially after we did that release, I just feel like it's something that we need to do, even if it's for one song. Sarah says, yay, love it. Okay. So we're just going to do like a 3-minute song. Lauren said I have to run, gotta take a call. Love ya. Love you too, boo. Thanks so much for coming. I'll post the recording too so that you can see the end of this later. Okay, so I love ecstatic dance. When I'm saying ecstatic, it's like ecstasy, but I don't mean we're gonna like go like get our dildos out or anything like that. Ecstatic is like the ecstasy of like coming into your body, like being one with each other, one with the present moment. And essentially like the purpose of this is we want to, on a deeper level, release from our physical body all the stuff that we just let go of. And the powerful thing about dance or any kind of movement is it really helps us with our manifestation, because when we're manifesting, yes, like affirmations, all that kind of stuff is great, but we also manifest with the body. This is why I taught the chakras for so many years. I mean, I still talk about it when I do readings for people, but we want to feel in our bodies the physical feelings of like, what would it feel like right now, as if your manifestation was already here. So this is why I love to use dance as a tool for releasing and manifesting. And this playlist that I made for y'all, it's very intentional. Like the music that I have on here, the words that are in the songs, it's intended to like lift you up, help you, excuse me, that was gross, believe in yourself and just manifest what you want. So does that all make sense, my loves, before we move on? How's your fire doing, Emma? Good. Okay. I love it. Okay, it's already 6:11. I said we would be an hour, give or take. So we're probably going to be like 10 more minutes. So I only will be going over like 20 minutes, and that's progress from compared to my usual going over. Is everybody still got some time to stay? Okay, cool. All right, my loves, I have this beautiful song that I'm going to play for you. Sarah said yes. Okay, cool. The song is called Thrive. So like I said, when we dance, feel in your body what you just wrote down, releasing, and then feel your manifestations coming in. One thing I'll say before we get up and dance, first of all, if you don't feel comfortable doing it on your camera, please don't feel like you have to, but I will give you a challenge to do it even if you feel uncomfortable, but not a push. Like, do what makes you feel best. I know when I first started dancing on Zooms, I felt fucking weird as fuck, but then it helped to get out of my comfort zone. But do whatever's best for you. Also, this is not a choreographed dance. This is not, I look fucking crazy half the time I'm dancing. So this is not meant to look beautiful or elegant or anything. Even if you don't want to dance, just move your body, whether you stretch or whatever. Just listen. Yes, girl. Like, listen to how you feel like your body wants to move. And oh my God, Emma, she said, this bitch is burning up. Dang, girl. I love that. That's some powerful shit. Oh, I can't wait to burn mine when we're done. Okay, loves. So yeah, and I will keep the camera on me. If you guys want to watch, you can. I don't care. I'm in my bedroom right now, so I don't have a lot of extra space. But like, seriously, feel free to look crazy. Sometimes I get on the floor when I'm doing this. The song is only like less than 3 minutes. It's like 2 minutes and 38 seconds to be exact. So yeah, is everybody good to get up and dance? I feel like I need to pee, but I will wait until we're done. All right, I'm gonna hit play. And like I said, just feel everything releasing. Let me move my chair. Sarah says, yes, girl, let's do it. Yes, Sarah has danced with me before on Zoom. Okay, so feel everything releasing and then feel the manifestations coming in. I feel like I need to do this so that I can go over here. Okay, here we go. Dance, move, let it go. Let me know that you guys can hear it. It's like just coming on.
Yes, you got that boom pow banging out that boom box. It's the mood. Feeling so good. We are bonded. Know what we want. Yeah, it's the vibe. Yeah, we vibe.
Can you guys hear it okay?
Keep us on with energy. Baby, you can call it destiny. Yeah, I got that boom pow banging out the boom box. It's the mood. Feeling so good. We are bonded. Know what we want. Yeah, it's a vibe. Yeah, we thrive. We thrive. Yeah. When you did a recipe, when you're flowing, you know energy. You could balance like a referee and change it up like you should cup of tea. There's a sacred art to the arc of the story. Keep it clear with the intentions, cause we know that we are worth it. Choose the path of the art that you radiate, cause living in the moment are the moments we appreciate. Got that boom pow banging out that boom box. It's the moment, feeling so good. We are bonded, know what we want. Yeah, it's a vibe. I'm excited. Isaiah.
That felt so quick. Oh my God. Could you guys hear it okay? Yeah. Okay. It'll sound even better when you guys play it on your end. The more you dance, the more powerful it can be, but it can still be powerful just to do it for a few minutes like we just did. How did you guys feel? I feel like my heart rate's up. Could you guys like feel a physical release? Could you feel like, were you able to tap into the feelings of your desires while you're doing it too?
I'm gonna be honest. Sorry, I'm unmuting.
Do
So
it.
even though I wasn't quite dancing with you guys, what I did do, because I felt good stuff just from us lighting our things on fire and letting that go, and then kind of just calling my energy back into myself. I felt a big thing hit. And so I pulled some cards while you guys were dancing. So I was doing my own little thing in that, but love what you did. And I'm just sharing my experience of what I was called to do was pull some cards.
I
So
love
hope
that.
that's okay.
Of course it is. Thank you for sharing. And like I said earlier, I am teaching things, but please always do whatever feels best to you. So I love that you did that, Morgan. And thank you for sharing. Yeah, always, always, always listen to your body, soul, heart, intuition, all those things, like I said earlier. Yeah, I got super into dance during 2020 when COVID hit, and I just started doing a lot more of that than trying to force myself to have to move in a certain way with exercise. And I don't know, it's just really powerful. Like, I also like to close my eyes. I'm like, do I close my eyes? Yeah. If I'm not doing something crazy, I'll close my eyes, because that kind of helps me get into like the visualization process of like what I want to manifest. Okay. And like I said too, when we're manifesting, one of the biggest pieces is like feeling it in our body. All right, my loves. So this concludes the teaching and the rituals. What time is it? I can stay on for questions for a few minutes. I do want to briefly talk about the 5-week program that I am launching. Let me pull up my notes. So like I talked about, this program is called the Divine Feminine Rebirth, and it's basically like a deep dive of everything that we talked about today, plus even more. So this program is essentially for helping you feel free in your body, helping you let go of all the fucking rules, which we talked about today. But there's a lot more layers and practices and processes that I'll teach. Also releasing trapped emotions in your body and co-creating with God, and like creating a life that just like set your soul on fire, set your heart on fire, that you're so fucking excited about, and being able to tap into that and getting out of your head and into your heart. And also, of course, tapping more into your feminine energy and just living wild and free and just saying like, fuck this shit, and doing what feels best for you. So that's like the essence of what the course is about. So the course, the doors are opening on Friday. However, you can still sign up now if you feel guided to. So it'll start on, well, the doors will open on Friday, November 3rd. It's a 5-week course. It is self-paced. I'll be doing many videos throughout the, mini as in MINI. Like, I'm actually going to break it down into really short videos throughout the week to teach each thing. So each of the different categories I talked about will have a different theme for each week, and I will teach videos on that. I will also give you guys rituals for every week as well, so that you can have that release and let go. And we will have a Facebook group just like we did for this, so that we can have sisterhood and support. And I'll be doing coaching like in the Facebook group and comments with you guys. And that's about it. What am I missing? Oh, so the price of it, I wanted to make it easy for everybody to do it. The pricing is $133.33 because I wanted it to be angel numbers. But I do also have a payment plan, so you can pay in 3 payments of $44.44. And if you do the giveaway, like I said, the more you share, Sarah, you missed this part, so I'll repeat this part again. To enter into the giveaway, you basically would receive a 33% off scholarship for this program. So whatever that math is, I think it would take like 40 something dollars off. And to enter, so, oh my gosh, words. So I'm giving away 3 of those and 3 of the astrology mini courses. And all you have to do to enter the giveaway to qualify is to just share on your Facebook, Instagram, wherever you want to share something that you learned during the Goddess Circle today, and just tag me in it. I don't know if I said that earlier, but tag me in it. And the more you share something, the more times your name is entered. Did I explain that correctly? I'm like, I feel like my brain is a little bit mushy now. Emma, did I say that the same way as I said it earlier about the giveaway? Okay. So that is the giveaway. And oh, you have from Sunday, this Sunday today to next Sunday. I know it's already Monday for you, Emma, but essentially 7 days. You'll have 7 days to share as much as you want to, and I'll announce the winner on November 6th. If you do want to sign up for the course before I announce the winner, what I can do is either just like if you do the payment plan, I'll just cancel one of the payments. And if you, depending on what the math is, either way, like I'll get your money back to you is what I'm saying, essentially, if you won the partial scholarship, if you wanted to go ahead and start now. So I'll post the link to that in the group and you can sign up there. Oh, thank you, Sarah. So the doors are opening on Friday. So we'll start sharing. I have some like a few little mini things planned for that week. And the course is officially going to kick off on November 13th, but we're going to have the Facebook group and we're going to be doing stuff before the 13th. And I'll be sharing some videos before the 13th, but that's like the official kickoff. So it's going to kind of be like how I did this, where I created this Facebook group for us a week before the event, and then we'll have like the big kickoff day. So let me know if you guys have any questions about that. Feel free to ask me now, or you can private message me. Oh, look at that cutie. I love it. So cute. So does anyone have any questions in general about what we talked about today or about the program? Everybody good? Okay, I'll give Sarah a second to see if she says anything in the chat. Not right now. Okay, well, you guys know how to reach me. So if you think of any questions later, don't hesitate to ask. And I will post the link to the new program in the Facebook group. I will post the Spotify playlist. Oh, excuse me. And whenever I get the recording up, which should be, if it's not tonight, it'll be in the next couple of days. I'll post that in the Facebook group. The recording will be up for you guys to view for 7 days, and then it'll be down after that, but I'll give you guys a reminder for that. And like I said, the giveaway is from today to next Sunday/Monday for Emma. Okay, loves. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for sharing. Thank you so much for listening to me and letting me be here for you. Thank you for bearing with me as I am relaunching things and doing things new and in a different way. I love you too, Sarah Boo. I love all of you so much. And yeah, I'm just super grateful for the time that we spent together. I'm super grateful for each and every one of you. Thank you for trusting me. Yes, Sarah, you can see that in the first part of the recording. Okay, loves. I love you. I love you. I love you. Have a beautiful night, and I will see you guys later. Bye, loves. Mwah. I think I got lipstick on my hands. Mwah. Bye.